The Dark Beneath. A horror story. Chapter 1. The New Beginning. Jenna and Mark O'Connor had always dreamed of escaping the hustle and bustle of city life. They longed for a quieter, simpler existence, a place where they could raise a family and grow old together. So when they stumbled upon a quaint, albeit run-down, house in the outskirts of town, they knew they had found their future home. The house was built in the early 1970s, a time when Mark's parents were still children, and it had a charm that immediately captivated them both. Despite its age and the years of neglect it had endured, there was something undeniably alluring about the place. It was a two-story Victorian-style house with large bay windows, a wraparound porch, an intricate woodwork that hinted at a time when craftsmanship mattered. The house sat on a sprawling piece of land, surrounded by towering oak trees that whispered secrets with every gust of wind. The previous owners had abandoned the property years ago, leaving it to nature and the passage of time. But Jenna and Mark were undeterred by the peeling paint, the creaky floors, or the overgrown yard. They saw potential, a blank canvas on which they could create their dream home. After closing the deal, they moved in with little more than a few suitcases and a lot of hope. The house felt like a new beginning, a fresh chapter in their lives. The first few weeks were spent planning the renovations. They wanted to preserve the house's character while updating it to suit modern needs. There were so many ideas: knocking down walls to create an open floor plan, modernizing the kitchen, and transforming the attic into a cozy reading nook. It wasn't long before they started the work. They ripped up old carpeting, pulled down faded wallpaper, and sanded the floors. It was hard work, but they were excited to see their vision come to life. As they dug into the house's history, they discovered that it had been owned by several families over the decades, but none had stayed long. The house's last residents had left abruptly, leaving behind a few personal belongings in an air of mystery. Mark found himself in the living room one afternoon, prying up the floorboards to inspect the foundation. The floorboards groaned in protest as he worked, revealing dark, dusty beams beneath. As he removed another board, his crowbar slipped and clanged against something solid, something metallic. He paused, frowning, and crouched down to inspect the discovery. What he found was an old, rusted ring embedded in the floor, attached to a small iron trapdoor. "Jenna," Mark called out, his voice tinged with excitement and curiosity. Jenna hurried in from the kitchen, wiping her hands on her apron. "What is it?" she asked, her eyes widening when she saw the trapdoor. "Is that?" "Yeah," Mark nodded. "I think it's a trapdoor, but I've never seen one like this before. It's practically invisible unless you're looking for it." They exchanged glances, the thrill of discovery coursing through them. Together, they pried the door open, revealing a narrow set of stone stairs descending into darkness. A cold draft wafted up from below, carrying with it the scent of earth and something else, something faintly metallic, like blood. "Should we go down?" Jenna asked, her voice wavering slightly. She was torn between curiosity and an inexplicable sense of dread. Mark hesitated for a moment before shaking his head. Let's wait until we have better light. It's probably just an old cellar or storage space, but we'll want to be careful. They closed the trapdoor and marked its location, planning to return the next day with flashlights and proper equipment. That night, as they lay in bed, Jenna couldn't shake the feeling that they had awakened something, that the house was not as empty as it seemed.